Estate Today, coaching you into house and home.
Welcome back to Real Estate Today. As you know, a big part of today's buyer's market are interest rates. They're low right now. Some say the lowest they've been in 50 years. But what about before then? Well, our next guest will actually be able to tell us about that because, after all, she has been a realtor since 1948. That's when Ebby Halliday founded Ebby Halliday Realtors in Dallas. She's the founder and chairman of the board of Ebby Halliday Realtors, also the subject of a new book, Ebby Halliday, the First Lady of Real Estate, and she is so much more. Did I mention Ebby? First of all, welcome to Real Estate Today. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine, thank you, Gil.
Is it okay if I tell people how old you are?
It certainly is.
You're 98.
98.
And you are the oldest practicing realtor in the United States then, right?
I believe I am. My age has been widely publicized, and no one has come forth to dispute it. And the definition of practicing, as it applies to me, means 10 to 12 hours every day, and with frequent evening civic and political functions, which make my days longer. And
wow.
I am going strong at 98 and still drive my car, but nobody will ride with me.
Well, let's talk about what you're finding out in that 10 to 12 hours a day you're putting in. How is the real estate market in Dallas?
The market in Dallas and surrounding cities, which constitutes our market, covers has recovered and made a definite back to normal pending sales just this month. Now we're working on all of the closings.
That's great. Now, we've been saying that this is, as good a buyer's market as there ever has been, but of course it means a lot more when we say ever has been when somebody has your experience. So is this the best buyer's market you've ever seen?
This is a terrific buyer's market, and it's a good because the interest rates are today 4 3/4, 30-year fixed, and there's an $8,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers.
In this book, you say that new houses, when you started out, were costing about $7,500, $8,500, but they weren't selling. And they asked you what to do, and you started putting up drapes and laying down carpets and putting in furniture. It sounds like you were the first stager in United States real estate.
Well, and in fact, I probably was. I had to do something with my first inventory, which were concrete houses, steel reinforced. They're still standing, and but they weren't too attractive. The prices were right, as you said, $7,000 for the 2-bedroom and $9,000 for the 3.
From those roots, you grew a business into the operation where it is now 1,600 agents, annual sales of nearly $5 billion, recognized as one of the most influential business people in all of Texas. You're living some life there.
Well, it is a good life. We have a website for the book, www.ebbysbook.com, and I want to invite the listeners to become a fan of my Facebook page, where we have lots of news on our great company.
Well, you know what? I'll sign up. Ebby, obviously, there is no trend that is getting by you. Thank you so much again for joining us. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you.